my name is Raquel and I'm going to talk about Antonini de Jiménez videos. Antonini de Jiménez shared his thoughts on socialism and freedom and bullfighting, arguing that true wealth lies in freedom and courage. He criticizes the mediocrity of today's society and calls for a return to traditional values. Revolution, according to him, means being a free and responsible person. A great Spain is built on freedom and truth. The current revolution lies in living by principles and not by fleeting opinions that affect human dignity. Bullfighting represents values such as courage and loyalty in a society that tends toward cowardice. These values are essential for a strong and free Spain. A change in mentality is very crucial, as many have lived under ideologies that oppress individual freedom. It converts have the power to transform society. Poverty is not caused by the wealth of others, but by a lack of freedom and an inability to accept one's own responsibility. True wealth is freedom. Living in the shadow of other limits a nation's potential and greatness. The light of freedom can be uncomfortable for those who prefer the security of conformity. Many choose to remain in darkness for fear of change. Socialism tends to create a sense of depression in lack of initiative in young people. It prevents them from living their own lives and pursuing their dreams. Being an entrepreneur means having the initiative and courage to create opportunities rather than wait for them. Because an entrepreneurial mindset is essential for personal and social progress. Freedom is fundamental to generating wealth, as money comes later. Those who look at the world and offer something valuable are the ones who truly prosper. Because I think entrepreneurs are seen as the heroes of society, as they create wealth and offer value to the world. However, many work for the government, which limits their success. While capitalism allows each person to choose their own path and have the freedom to make mistakes. While socialism improves conditions, this freedom is essential for personal and economic growth. The true happiness must not come from material wealth, but the personal freedom and the ability to enjoy time alone is reflected in relationships and quality of life. Money is fundamental in life, but the first $100 can solve many problems. However, having so more wealth only changes the nature of the problems we face. Inequality is a controversial issue, and many critics are considered mediocre because they do not seek to better themselves. This criticism often hides the lack of personal ambition. Education is crucial for a country's development, and those who are wealthier they tend to have better educational levels. This is directly related to personal initiative and personal progress. These values are essential in a society that seeks to improve the defense of bullfighting, and the church is based on the search for truth and goodness, which transcends personal interest. Both models represent dedication and something greater than oneself. Human life has an inherent value that cannot be compared to that of animals. The relationship with animals must be ethical and respectful. Mediocrity in modern life affects the perception of traditions such as bullfighting. The struggle of freedom and work must have priority over conformity. Parents must be educate their children to be independent and not depend on the government. The debate of the video reveals the complexity of human life and the value that each individual brings. Decisions must be carefully considered, taking into account the consequences and the meaning of life, because people who face the possibility of abortion often do so out of feelings of hopelessness and lack of self-worth. This can lead to drastic decisions in times of crisis. In the video, they talk about a mother that's suffering because a quadriplegic case, and he had suffering a lot, and the concept of responsibility in life and the decisions we make is emphasized, pointing out the importance of accepting consequences. This applies to both personal decisions and education. Personal freedom is fundamental to living a full life, where one must accept immutable realities and differentiate between ideas and ideologies. Living in truth and not as a mediocre person is essential to achieving an authentic life. The importance of differentiating between ideas and ideologies, where the former are unique to the individual and the latter control the human being. This affects the way we live and think. He talked about sex changes represented and search for intense emotions, but in reality, it can lead to a state of confusion and internal suffering. It is a reflection of a deeper personal crisis. As a punishment in society that enslaves people, where work is considered a painful duty rather than a vocation. True freedom is found in a passion for work. Life should be seen as an integral whole, where work and vocation are intertwined. Life cannot be divided in parts as everything is connected. The search for a vocation is essential to feeling fulfilled and not like a burden. Working with passion transforms the concept of work into a life purpose. As like us, we want to be teachers. The search for truth leads to recognizing the importance of religious community, criticism of socialism, and defense of capitalism highlight the importance of generosity. These topics Antonini talks about on the video that we watched in class and later too, and this is what I've highlight of the video, and a little bit of my opinion, because these distractions affect our quality of life. These are things that happen in real life. Thank you.